Well, good morning. My name is P.M. Thomas, and I'm a writer and an eco-friendly conservationist and now a grandfather. I'd like to welcome you to climate adaptation. There's so much confusion going on here in 2014 about climate change and climate dynamics and who's to blame and who's responsible, and what are we gonna do about it? And I'm thinking about this little puppy here who's here with me in Ireland. This is Layla, and what's going to happen for her life and for her puppy's life, and for my granddaughter and her granddaughter. And I think we all need to start thinking about seventh generations. Many years ago, when I joined the engineering world, I inherited a legacy, an economy, a technology. And I wonder what we're going to leave behind for the people who are coming after us. I want you to think about a few things. Weather and climate are not the same thing. Climate is a long-term, broad-spectrum shift, which is natural, and Mother Earth is going to continue to express that particular part of her personality. The animal kingdom is already starting to migrate. They're adapting like they always have. And you wonder why we, as the two-legged animals, refuse to adapt, refuse to consider that this is a natural progression, regardless of what causes it or what accelerates it. We have an obligation, a duty to the future, for our children, for the children of the wildlife, for Layla the puppy's children, who she's only four months old. And ask yourself, where do you stand for the future generations? I repositioned my company as a seventh generation development professional after a long and interesting career as a consultant in technology. And I invite you to consider this when you watch this video. You don't have to have grandchildren of your own or even grandnieces, but think 300 years out from now. That's 7 generations roughly. 30 years is typically the low end, up to 50 years on the high end. So let's say 40 to be round figures. What are you going to leave as a legacy? What can you do today? What can you do tomorrow? We can all make choices. We can all make determinations. What are yours going to be? What I've done is I've decided to model with a series of stories called A Change is Coming, the somewhat winsome and wishful thinking of young animals who find out that they have to move because they overhear their parent animals talking about a change that's coming, and they don't understand it, and I don't think we even as human beings understand it completely. They're going to continue on their path. 5 ambassadors around the world. Nanook from the north, Penguina from the south, Storkley from Africa, Benji from the Himalaya, and finally Visi from the Andes. 5 ambassadors who are all on the threatened species list will be traveling around the world on natural float conditions and meeting new friends on the endangered species list. There'll be a series of free stories available through the website at the bottom of this page, where they can be freely distributed in almost 80 languages. We're coming up on September Climate Week in New York, where the United Nations adults are going to be spending a lot of time trying to decide what to do, what not to do, who's responsible, and what to do next. Who's speaking for the animals? Who's speaking for the generations? Think about this carefully. I do every day. What will be your legacy? This is P.M. Thomas, summer of 2014, from Southeast Ireland, welcoming you to the Climate Adaptivist Campaign. A change is coming.